to Don't Starve. My name is Kit, and I wanted to wish you all a happy belated Memorial Day. It was a busy weekend here, didn't get much done. Today we're going to prepare to go caving. There are a couple things you need to make sure you have to go underground. I thought I had a miner's hat somewhere. Oh, there it is. Okay, we need a miner's hat or some type of light source, plenty of twigs and grass for torches. It's always dark. I need 8 bucks. It's always dark underground, so you'll want to make sure that you have a light source such as a miner's hat, so that that's one that's not held in your hand, so that if you meet any of the bad guys down there, we're going to take this hammer because maybe we'll run across some bunny houses, but you'll want to have a light source that's not handheld so that you can equip a weapon and have light in case you meet any of the bad guys. You'll also want to make sure that you have the supplies to we're going to take only 1 food, because all our food has meat in it, and the bunnies down in the caves below aggro to you if you have any type of meat in your inventory, so you have to be very, very careful of that. Now there are 5 new mobs underground. The bunnies that we talked about are like the pigs. If you feed them carrots, they will follow you and they will help you. Like I said, they aggro if you have meat in your inventory, and if you hit one, they will mob you. And now in the beta, when I did caves, the bunnies never stopped chasing you. I don't know if they have fixed that or not. Considering they hit pretty hard, I'm not sure I want to test that. Okay. Now, you don't ever want to stay underground for very long. As you can see, our sanity is continuously draining. There is no way with normal characters to make sure or to raise your sanity while you're underground. And the more insane you go, of course, the insanity monsters start to come out, and you don't want to have to deal with them with all the rest of the monsters that are out here. Here is one of the new mobs. These are the bats. Now the bats only take 1 hit to kill. They're not hard. The thing is they'll swarm you and take turns getting hits in, and the problem is chasing them down is actually a hassle. When walls also get in the way, which is a huge hassle to be constantly having that, and they made so many different ways you can turn the walls at such a small angle. It gets a little annoying at times to try to move the walls out of your way. Now I picked up a whole bunch of meat from those bats. We probably don't want to run into any bunnies now. There's one of the other mobs. There are 2 different types of spiders. This one will retreat into its shell. When it's retreated into its shell, you don't really want to continue to hit it, because you basically are just wasting your weapon at that time. You'll just want to wait till it comes back out. And yes, Mr. Tentacle, I saw you, but you're right there. I want that light bulb. Oh, never mind, you have a friend. We'll find a different way to go and find some light bulbs. I'm not going to fight tentacles right now for those light bulbs. Now these mushroom trees, they, as you can see, give off light, so it's a nice place to conserve your helm. But also if you chop them down, they will give you wood and blue cap mushrooms, so it's a good way to resupply your logs while you're down here if you you happen to run out or come with none. Now, these light bulbs, I'm going to show you what we can make with them when we get back on the top. I really want to collect as many rocks down here as I can. Ooh, there is bat guano. Bat guano basically has no use yet, as far as I know, other than fertilizer like poop does. So, although poop has a couple other uses, the guano, as of yet, does not. But anyway, the rocks down here, I mean, we don't have a lot of rocks up top near our area, so we're just going to collect some rocks while we're down here. These stalagmites are easily mineable, and they drop the gold and the flint in the rocks like the gold-veined rocks up top do. Now we're going to collect some more of these light bulbs. Now if you notice, the light bulbs have green around them. They do spoil, so you have to be aware of the spoilage rate of the light bulbs. They can be eaten. Oh, and there is one of the other mobs that we have. This is a slurtle nest, and that would be a slurtle. A slurtle basically is just a snail. Again, this one will retreat into its shell. You want to stop attacking it when it retreats into its shell, because you just are wasting your weapon if you continue to hit his shell. Now they bite pretty hard. They don't, other than biting pretty hard, they don't really do anything. They have the chance of dropping a broken shell. And slurtle slime, the slurtle slime is an explosive like the gunpowder, which, you know, is kind of nice for blowing up stuff, I suppose. They're supposed to have a drop rate on a helmet, and oh, there's the armor and a shell armor, which I'm going to assume is a better armor than the log armor. I'm going to assume. I would not guarantee that it's a better armor than the log armor. Let's hope maybe we can get a helmet out of this guy. That would be nice. Have a full set of slurtle armor. And this is an earthquake, and of course my inventory is full. I'm going to have to figure out that. The earthquakes drop rocks from the ground, and as long as you stay out of the shadows on the ground, which I'm doing a very poor job of because I'm trying to fix my inventory, but as long as you stay out of the shadows on the ground, you should not be getting hit by the falling debris. The rocks falling on the ground are the game's way of renewing rocks in the game. Before, rocks were not a renewable resource. When they were gone, they were just gone. Now, let's get rid of these memes, so if we run across a rabbit. So now rocks are renewable. They also, during an earthquake, it'll drop the gems that you can get from the dogs. That's random. It'll drop flint, the niter to make gunpowder, gold. Anything that you can get out of a rock, it'll drop. And like I said, it'll also drop the things, the blue, purple, and red gems that you normally would get from the dogs. And we'll see if I can. He's just hanging out up there. I'm not sure. He just really doesn't want to come in. He doesn't want to come and play at all. He's just going to keep running away. So, yeah, forget it. But as you can see, our sanity is dropping pretty quickly. it's, you know, it's hard to stay underground for any length of time because of the sanity drop, but I would like to collect a couple more of these light flowers at least. I would have liked to have seen a bunny. Not while I was carrying all that meat in my inventory, but I would have liked to have shown you guys a bunny. Or there's one other mob down here. It's another type of spider. It's called a spitting spider. We haven't seen one of those either. It's, you know, another type of spider, obviously. It spits webs at you from ranged. Where is out? There is out. Okay. It spits webs at you from ranged, so you just have to be careful. And yes, ooh, see? Now there's a blue gem. Must have fallen. You have to be careful with the spitting spiders, because I believe, at least in the beta, you could, or they could spit through the walls. So, that's something to be aware of. What am I going to do with this torch? Why is my inventory always so full? I always have full inventory. I collect too much crap. I'm gonna hurry up here. Torch. Okay. And this is the way out. We'll just drop that there so that we have one for when we come back in. Now, if you die underground, you drop all of your stuff underground and respawn back up here at the hole. So depending on the day, the season, the time of day, you may want to make sure that, and we may eventually put a chest up there at the top of that hole, just to make sure we have, you know, ready supplies of stuff to be able to go back in and pick up our inventory should anything happen. Now we have enough. We're going to take care of our sanity. We've got enough spider silk. We can make a top hat. We don't have to worry about picking our bees' flowers wearing a top hat. I am going to have to, sheesh, I am definitely going to have to do something about this inventory between shows, because my inventory is just overloaded with crap that we've gone and collected and haven't made anything with yet. We'll make up the things that we can with the inventory that we have, but I'll also go through and fix the general mess of it. Now I'm going to eventually store the lights in the refrigerator. I do believe that'll help them with the resources, but right now we're going to make the thing we went and collected them for. I'm not sure where it is. Is it in magic? What those things? Is it in magic? Probably not, because this is the first place I really looked. No, I don't see it. Is it light? Oh, there it is. Okay, we need 2 ropes. We have enough grass for that. Now, if you see, this is the lantern. It's got a durability on it just like a torch, except for it is refillable. You can use additional light bulbs to refill the lantern. Now, it's not 1 bulb per, won't fill your lantern to 100%. I believe it takes 5 to 6 bulbs to refill your light from 0 to 100%. It may take actually even more than that. I'm not quite sure. I know they're not really efficient at refilling it, but it is nice to have a refillable, renewable light source down there. It helps with the amount of twigs and or grass you would have to go underneath with. And also, although it is one of the handheld ones, so you'll still want to make sure you have a mining hat when you go down below. What do I have? I have more inventory than I know what to do with. Oh, partially because we picked up all the pieces of the machine because we thought we were switching worlds. Now, if you notice, I took down some of the machines here over the last couple episodes, or in between the last couple episodes, just to clean up the area here. Once you have the shadow manipulator, you don't need the other two science machines. It cascades down the use of them. Oh, I'm not gonna make it. Am I gonna make it? Chop, 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 chop. Oh, I got it down, but I'm not gonna get any of them picked up. Okay. Like I was saying, with a science machine, you can prototype the things you would need with a science machine. With an alchemy machine, you can prototype the things you would need with an alchemy machine or a science machine. And with the shadow manipulator, you can prototype absolutely everything in the game so far, I believe. So that's why we could take the other two machines down once we put up the shadow manipulator. It gives us more space here in our base camp, which is nice because we're going to be filling that up with chests, it looks like, because I've got too much stuff laying on the ground here. So put that away, collect. Now, like I said, I'm going to go through the inventory management. We do have a couple, I see, supplies for things that we can make. We'll collect some more odd and unusual supplies and make some other cool things that aren't necessarily important for survival, but some of them are just neat or cool that we'll want to I want you guys to take a look at, just because they're fun. And fun things are nice too. They don't, and everything doesn't necessarily have to be surrounded by surviving. We can make things just for fun too. But I know these episodes where you guys are watching me collect are very, very boring, which is why I try to do most of this not recording, because this does not make overly compelling gameplay. I don't want to drop that. I want to equip it. All these big huge trees here with nothing to do but to supply me with wood. And, if they're begging to be chopped down, then I'll chop them down. But I'm trying to think what else. I believe we have a swamp somewhere near. We may go in a swamp and collect some of those resources. I have an idea. I don't know if I have enough in my inventory, but I have an idea of what I want to show you how to make next. I'll have to check the inventory, see if I have enough of the stuff, or if we'll have to go out to the swamp to go get some more. I'd like to go do some more caving, although I'd like to bring up a bunny, because I want to see actually if a bunny and a pig, since we have our pig over there, can coexist, since the pigs like meat. We'll have to see. But I'd like to bring a bunny up. But other than that, and the armor from the Slurtle and the lantern, I don't see a huge necessity for going underground and caving at the moment. Now, caves are a work in progress. They are going to be working on them, and eventually they may have more of a purpose. Now, there's a lot of things in the game that don't have a lot of purpose other than like fun stuff. Like I said, they have worked a lot on making a lot of the things more useful, and if not more useful, at least less resources to make. So they are still working on trying to make everything have a purpose and a use, so that there aren't just things that nobody ever makes. But I am going to cut it here. Like I said, I'm going to clean this up while we're not on camera, and then we'll decide what we're going to do next episode. I want to thank you all for watching, and you guys have a great day, and again, a happy belated Memorial Day to you. And ooh, this pumpkin, I'll be making something. I'll show you how to make something cool with that when we come back too. Okay, you guys all have a great day.